News Channel 3's Jared Worksma joins us live now with the latest. Jared.
Andy, we are in the town of Findlay right now. The St. Joe County Sheriff's Office is just setting things up. The Mobile Command Center just got here a few moments ago. Actually, they are calling this a homicide investigation right now, and that is strange for a couple of reasons. But let me step out of the way and show you the scene behind us here. Right now, the St. Joe County prosecutor tells me what they have that they're investigating right now is a domestic dispute. Happened here on Findlay Road sometime around 4 o'clock between a woman and her grandson. So grandmother-grandson relationship involving a weapon. Now, the woman is in critical condition right now. At last check, according to the prosecutor, she was airlifted to Bronson, but she is still alive. However, the prosecutor is calling this a homicide investigation. Now, there are people all over this scene right now that continue to run up, looking very concerned, trying to figure out what's going on. A lot of details are still up in the air as detectives and deputies start to get to work on this scene. We're going to be talking to them throughout the evening, figure out exactly what is going on. We'll get it to you as soon as we can. But once again, for now, what we know is that a grandmother and grandson got into a domestic dispute around 4 o'clock this afternoon. The grandson is in custody right now after using a weapon to attack his grandmother. The grandmother's in critical condition at Bronson Hospital. For now, we're live in Findlay. I'm Jared Worksma, News Channel 3. And we have learned quite a bit of new information since 6 o'clock this evening. First of all, the victim here is 55-year-old Georgiana Sparks. She was stabbed multiple times. According to the sheriff's office, she was airlifted to Bronson Hospital. The undersheriff tells us that she has made it through her first surgery, and she is now in critical but stable condition. Now, they say it happened at this mobile home right behind me here with the light on. This afternoon, this area was lit up like a Christmas tree until about 5 minutes ago when state police and the sheriff's office wrapped up their crime scene investigation. The sheriff's office says that the suspect here is the woman's grandson, 17-year-old Michael LOERCH, and the prosecutor says he has given a full confession. Around 4 o'clock, startling violence turned this tiny town into a bloody crime scene. A scene friends and family of the victim, Georgiana Sparks, learned of in a brutal way.
My grandma called me because she heard it over the scanner that her throat was cut by Michael.
Monica Julian says Sparks basically raised her. She says Sparks was doing the same thing for Michael LOERCH, her grandson and alleged attacker, when she took him in not long ago.
I talked to Aunt Jody and Michael about a week ago, and everything sounded all right. Michael sounded happy, and Jody sounded like nothing was wrong.
But when Colon police got to the scene first this afternoon, that was not the case. Sparks was near death. Her grandson was nowhere to be seen.
We checked the immediate area, was not able to locate him. We went across the house to the scene, and at that time a red car pulled up.
Chief Mark Brinkert says LOERCH was in the back.
He went down the road to a friend's house and said that grandmother had been stabbed and went to get help.
Colon police say they arrested LOERCH without a fight as he was claiming his innocence.
Well, he was saying that somebody had come in and attacked him and his grandmother.
St. Joe County Prosecutor John McDonough says LOERCH did eventually give a full confession. And it's not the first time the prosecutor has dealt with this young man.
Certainly isn't his first brush with law enforcement. Obviously a shocking situation, but we knew he was capable of something like this.
But family tells us they had no idea.
He has problems like everybody else does, but not anything like this. This is like a dream. I had a bad dream.
All right, now LOERCH is in the St. Joe County Jail tonight. He's expected to be arraigned at 1 o'clock tomorrow. The prosecutor says if Sparks makes it through the night, the charge will likely be attempted murder. If Sparks dies, LOERCH will face a murder charge. We're live tonight in St. Joseph County. I'm Jared Worksma, News Channel 3 live at 10 on the CW7. Yeah, Kate, you know, a lot of very interesting details. For example, LOERCH is in the St. Joe County Jail right now with his mother, who was there on her third meth charge, according to family. Now, LOERCH has been able to see his mother and says she's forgiven him. And though he has already given a full confession to the St. Joe County prosecutor, tonight LOERCH gave us his account of the bloody deed. The 17-year-old says he wishes he could undo.
This is all from the attack.
Bandages and bruises over much of her body, Georgiana Sparks is still trying to come to terms with the fact that her grandson stabbed her 11 times.
I don't know why this happened, why my grandson did this to me, but he's my grandson and I'll always love him.
She says they started arguing because her grandson wanted a ride to town for cigarettes. Sparks' car broke down.
He knocked my glasses off of me, and I told him I was going to call the police, and that's when he snapped.
She says he choked her until she passed out.
Then I came to, he was still choking me, and then he started stabbing me, and I was drenched in blood. I figured I was bleeding to death.
Just so you know, I probably am gonna cry, so.
Her grandson, Michael LOERCH, says he struggles with it every day.
Oh yeah, I feel bad.
He says he never would have done it if he wasn't high on meth.
When did you last smoke meth at that point?
The day before. It stays in your system for 3 days, so.
He says after hours of arguing with his grandma, he lost control.
I was choking her for about 5 minutes. She was hitting my arm, said she couldn't breathe, and I'm like, I know you can't breathe. That's my point of doing this.
When he finally let go, he says his grandma grabbed a knife
and said that she was gonna kill me. And that's when I obviously forced the knife out of her hand. I stabbed her once in the throat, and then blood poured out, and it was like, oh, hell no, what did I just do? I just started crying, and it's like, I just think I killed my grandma.
LOERCH says he got sick, but he didn't stop.
She ran out the back door trying to get away from me. That's when I ran out the front door to go after her, meet her around the house, and I continued to stab her.
Despite all this, Sparks says she forgives him.
I don't want to be around him, but I love him. And everybody needs to know that.
She says he's only 17, diagnosed bipolar, has a father he's never known, and a mother in jail on a meth charge. She says her grandson has never been dealt a good hand, and he needs help.
I don't want him in prison. I want him in a psychiatric hospital to get the help that he needs.
All right, obviously difficult details for them to share and also difficult details to hear. Now, because there were 2 separate attacks, LOERCH has been charged with 2 counts of assault with intent to commit murder. Because he has given a full confession, LOERCH says his attorney is working a deal for 11 to 16 years. And even though his grandmother says the thought of being in the same room with him is terrifying, prosecutors have guaranteed her safety, and she says she will testify against her grandson. We're live tonight in the newsroom. I'm Jared Worksma, News Channel 3. Well, he's 17 years old, and in Michigan, at 17, you can be charged as an adult. You are an adult. And with the story last night, there was a very wide range of reactions to LOERCH's statements. In fact, many involved in this case say they're stunned by it, including his grandmother and the St. Joe County prosecutor. Now, we talked with both of them about LOERCH's comments and the case going forward.
It's been stressful. Everybody's like, that's the guy who stabbed his grandma.
Just seeing Michael LOERCH on TV last night was difficult for his grandmother, Georgiana Sparks. She says some of what she heard was even harder.
Oh, she grabbed the knife.
She grabbed the knife?
She threatened to kill me.
Sparks says she never touched the knife, and she didn't know her grandson was using meth.
I've been using it for the past year.
Really?
Yeah, I got into it because my mom, she's in here because of it. Her 3rd time. Next time she's going to prison, so hopefully there isn't no next time. I cry, it's sad. I'm her baby boy, just like I'm my grandma's baby boy. I'm really worried about my grandma forgiving me.
LOERCH's interview was even more surprising for the St. Joe County prosecutor, John McDonough.
I've never had it happen, you know, in my time as a prosecutor, and some of my assistants here have been here for nearly 30 years.
One of the things LOERCH talked about was a potential deal he had discussed with his attorney.
I got probably 11 to 16 years in prison.
But that's news to McDonough.
Well, there's no deal right now, and there probably will not be much of a deal in the future.
But McDonough is hoping to spare Sparks the pain of going to trial.
I can't say for sure that it won't, but you know, we have a tremendously strong case, and obviously with Mr. LOERCH's statements yesterday, it makes it even stronger.
LOERCH says he doesn't want to go to trial either, but it is possible.
Depends on what my attorney tells me to do. I admitted it to it, so, I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
This is about the time a deputy tapped on the glass because I had a phone call at the jail.
Can you stop that for a second?
The prosecutor wanted to make sure this 17-year-old was aware of what he was doing.
McDonough wants to make sure that your attorney is okay with this.
Oh, my attorney probably won't be.
LOERCH, who is being charged as an adult and is able to make his own legal decisions, made it clear he wanted to talk despite his attorney advising him not to. His attorney got him on the phone and convinced him to stop the interview. All right, now, one of Sparks' biggest concerns remains getting her grandson psychiatric help. We asked McDonough if there had been any discussions about mental help in lieu of or in addition to prison time. He simply says there have not, and it'll be up to LOERCH's attorney to start the dialogue. That could happen at LOERCH's pre-examination, which is scheduled for next Tuesday right now. We're live in the newsroom tonight. I'm Jared Worksma, News Channel 3. It has been 2 months today since this attack, and the problem is questions about LOERCH's mental health. And until those questions are answered, LOERCH and his grandmother will remain in limbo.
I was drenched in blood. I figured I was bleeding to death.
The bandages are gone, but the scar, both physical and emotional, remains.
I notice it every time I look in the mirror. I mean, I'm getting used to it. It's just, I just got to get used to seeing it.
Even more challenging for Georgiana Sparks is getting used to others seeing it.
It's hard to go through it, you know, and tell people, okay, you know, this is what happened, and then they've got so many questions, and it's kind of hard sometimes.
When we spoke to Michael LOERCH in St. Joe County Jail about stabbing his grandmother repeatedly, he seemed remorseful.
Just so you know, I probably am going to cry, so... Oh, yeah. I feel bad.
But at that point, Sparks told us she was too scared to go near him. Do you have any desire to see Michael?
Yeah, I would like to see him. He's my grandson. I love him. I'm scared of him, yes. I'll always be scared of him. But he's behind a window. He can't get to me.
But as the victim, Sparks says she isn't allowed to see her grandson until he's in court. And according to this letter from the St. Joe County prosecutor, that could be a while.
All I know is they are waiting to send him to Ypsilanti for a forensic psychiatric evaluation.
Which means this troubled teen has to be found competent before he can stand trial. If and when that happens, Sparks says she'll be ready to testify against her grandson.
He has to pay for what he did, but I don't think prison is the right place for him.
And now Sparks has told us repeatedly that she hopes that her grandson will be placed in a mental health facility. Now, LOERCH has a preliminary hearing scheduled for December 8th. If his psychiatric evaluation isn't complete, the prelim will be postponed until it is. We're live in the newsroom tonight. I'm Jared Worksma. News Channel 3 live at 10 on the CW7.